So everyone, please find your seats. The chair appoints members of the committee on part of the House to escort the President of the United States into the chamber the following. The gentleman from Florida, Mr. 42PXC, and the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. 4S1 Molt. Mr. Vice President.
The President of the Senate appoints members of the committee on part of the Senate to escort the President of the United States into the chamber. The following. The gentleman from Illinois, Mr. RaymondPritzker. The gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Charles Archibald.
The members of the escort committee will enter the chamber through the lobby doors and will make their way to the speaker's office. You good, Matt? I don't think the Supreme Court's here.
I think Nathan wasn't here. The Chief Justice is here.
Okay.
Chris, if you're talking, nobody can hear you.
Yep, I was just letting Chase know we're going to begin. So.
Mr. Speaker, the Chief Justice, and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court.
Is Nathan here? Because I see him. He's in the game.
He's coming.
Oh, there he is. Oh.
Mr. Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
Oh, here we go.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Mr. Vice President.
Mr. President, lovely seeing you.
Love to seeing everybody. Mr. Speaker, got a handsome big boy over here.
Oh man, thank you very much, Mr. President.
How's everybody doing? Excellent. I present you two courtesy copies of my speech. How do I look on camera? Do I look good? All right. Good evening, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, esteemed members of the House, the Senate, the Cabinet, the Joint Chiefs, Justices of the Supreme Court, and most importantly, my fellow Americans. I stand before you today humbled and privileged to be able to report that the state of our union is strong. As a nation, we are flourishing. The American spirit is stronger than ever. Bipartisanship is thriving in our governing halls. Activity is flooding the streets of Washington. Our departments and federal agencies are staffed. Our law enforcement is better prepared than ever to tackle the most difficult challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis. Our military is stronger and better equipped than ever to handle any threat that our nation may face. Under my administration, the Department of Justice, under the leadership of the fantastic Attorney General 42 PXA, has delivered on its mission of restoring law and order to our country. Thanks to him and his team, we have returned to a state of activity and competent displays of jurisprudence have been shown. The Department of Justice this term has followed through massively in ensuring they maintain a high conviction rate and have been getting criminals off our streets. Our law enforcement agencies have reached a level of elite status. The Metropolitan Police Department, under the leadership of then Chief, now Secretary of Homeland Security, Ikar, have taken community policing to the next level. We have seen unprecedented levels of consistent activity, valor, and realism. Under the leadership of the incoming chief, Deshaun Field, the MPD will see heights like never before. The Secret Service, the Diplomatic Security Service, the U.S. Capitol Police have all demonstrated the utmost levels of professionalism and produced phenomenal results. The incredible men and women who work at these agencies contribute every day to the safety of our officials and our institutions, and their contributions to this group cannot be overlooked. The United States Marshal Service under U.S. Marshal Shertak, and soon the FBI under the leadership of incoming Director Atlas Cipher, have been and will do amazing things in bolstering the mission of the Department of Justice. Under Director Cipher, the Bureau will no longer running around D.C. playing cops and robbers. They will go back to their true and intended purpose: criminal investigations with results. The Department of Homeland Security, under Secretary Karashim, has reborn, managing and overseeing our most crucial federal law enforcement agencies only a couple of days into the job. His exemplary leadership is already yielding results, instilling policies that not only support our law enforcement, but also ensure accountability is being held at the highest of levels. I cannot wait to see how he takes the department to new heights. Under my administration, our international standing has been restored and renewed to its proper glory. Under the fantastic leadership of Secretary McKenzie, we have seen an abundance of diplomatic back-channeling and strengthening of ties with our strongest of allies. Soon we will return not only to the United Nations Security Council, but we also have been poised and invited to host the next G7 summit here in Washington, and those plans are underway. At this point in time, it's no secret that the United Nations is going through a period of activity, something far beyond our control. Our State Department anticipates with the upcoming holiday break, we will see a revitalized level of interest and activity in the United Nations so we can continue to assert American strength and dominance all across the community. When I first ran for office, I made a promise. I promised to this nation that I would develop an intelligence apparatus to protect our nation from all threats at home and abroad. I am proud to say that we've done just that. Under the fantastic leadership of Director Gabjam, the National Security Agency has become a troop of silent warriors, defenders of our homeland. These are individuals who work in the shadows. They do not seek recognition for their accomplishments, and many of their successes go unpublicized. But tonight, we thank them for their incredible service and dedication to our country, and I call on all of you to give them a round of applause. Intern at the White House. Intern at the White House. They have assembled arguably the greatest national security team our country has ever seen. Under the direction of my National Security Advisor, Skolsky, we have assembled a team at the National Security Council that makes doing this job that I do so much easier. Through their fantastic dedication and consistent results, we navigate the most difficult of crises and events with steadfast resolve. The United States military, along with the civilian guidance of the Department of Defense and Secretary Ghazi Singh and his team, are performing at the greatest levels this country has ever seen. Our Navy and our Marines, under the direction of Admiral Rook Feelings and Commandant Guerrilla, have become phenomenal. Under this administration, we have seen the Navy expand exponentially, numbers-wise, development-wise. The number of sailors in our fleet has grown massively and have been readily training to ensure operational readiness at a moment's notice. Under Admiral Rook Feelings' direction, we have expanded our Navy to introduce naval special warfare. Our Navy SEALs are the best of the best and a force to be reckoned with. Our Marine Corps, under Commandant Guerrilla, stand ready and active to not only be the first boots on the ground, but ready to defend our nation in times of crises here at home. Their level of operational readiness is second to none, and I applaud them for everything they do. These men and women exemplify American greatness, and I ask that all of you stand and give a round of applause for our troops. They truly define what the greatness of what it means to be an American. And I am proud to be their commander-in-chief and have their confidence.
Who?
Our private sector needs more attention. My recent nomination of our UN Ambassador Neifler to become Secretary of the Department of Commerce and Labor is currently underway in committee, and these hearings are being conducted by our fantastic senators on both sides. He has incredible plans to bolster our private sector, and the experience he has gained as UN Ambassador and as a former Secretary of State give him the necessary resources and connections needed to introduce and bring international business to the United States, and they put him in a prime position to create more private sector opportunities for Americans, not only at home, but abroad. Esteemed members of the House of Representatives and the Senate, I am here standing before you today delivering a call to action. We have seen great levels of bipartisanship flood our political processes, but there can always be more. Members of the House and the Senate can be doing more to work together. We all can be doing more to work together, and in the spirit of progress for the American people, nonetheless. I stand before you today not as a candidate, not as a political hopeful. Like President Obama said in his last State of the Union address, I'm not running any more campaigns. I know because I've won all of mine. I am here, humbled before you as a lover and servant of the community that we've created here, the family we've created here. We want this community to stand the test of time. We had the chance to make that happen, not just for today, not just for tomorrow, but for future generations of RHJ hopefuls to come. We can only achieve that by truly working together. So please, let's work together. Who we are tomorrow begins with what we do today, not for ourselves, but for this amazing nation that we call home. May God bless you all, and may God bless these United States of America.
Greatest speech of all time, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Shakes hand. Mr. Vice President.
As good as always.
Thank you, sir.
I ask that all members maintain decorum and order in the House and to cease any further disruptions, especially
We're
with
still
the
in
protest.
session.
We're still in a joint session. The chair
Hello. Fellow Americans, hello. I'm Senator RaymondPritzker, leader of the Supermajority Senate Progressive Caucus and Senate Majority Leader. I'm honored tonight to deliver the progressive response on behalf of my Progressive Caucus to President Kalinic's State of the Union address that he delivered earlier this evening. Tonight, after listening to the President's State of the Union, one question echoes louder than any applause that he could have commanded in that speech. What union is the president referring to? what union is strong? Because our State of the Union, the real one, the one you and I and my colleagues and all Americans live in, is strained. It's shaken and searching for leadership that tells the truth. The president spoke of stability. He spoke of restored greatness. He spoke of security, stability, and yet, under his watch, we witnessed something unthinkable happen in American history, something unprecedented that we have not seen since our nation's founding. An attack inside the Oval Office itself, in the White House, in our capital, carried out during the breakdown in security, safety, and exploited by rogue members of the Swiss government. An attack that exposed catastrophic failures inside the National Security Agency, the NSA, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and the national security apparatus that this administration touts and continues to mismanage. He spoke of law and order, but Washington, D.C. is more crime-ridden than at any point since our nation's birth. Corruption festers like a bug, not only in the street, but in the cabinet room, in the White House, in federal agencies, and inside, namely, federal departments. Rogue personnel carried out, just days ago, members of the Department of Homeland Security, illicit actions right here in the Capitol. We saw law enforcement officers illegally arrest members of Congress without oversight, without cause, and without accountability. And yet, the Department of Justice has spent more time under this administration prosecuting those this administration champions most: law-abiding law enforcement officers, the ones that are doing their duty, unlike the president, unlike this government, to keep you safe. They're doing their best.
Thank you.
And it's their best work. But the DOJ focuses on them. Is this the safety he promised? The safety he claimed to restore in their campaign manifesto? Let me be clear. America deserves better. The president talked tonight about international respect, but under his leadership, the United States has never been more sidelined on the global stage. Under this vice president's leadership, Secretary of State, if you can call it leadership, we were removed from the United Nations Security Council, reduced from a world-shaping nation to a low-ranking member of the General Assembly, relevant in moments where global leadership is needed most. He campaigned on reclaiming or claiming permanent 5 status. He's failed. He spoke of dominance in the UN. Yet dominance requires strength. It requires engagement. It requires a foreign policy that asserts American leadership, not one that retreats from the world, pretends threats do not exist, or responds to aggression with nothing but press releases and excuses. We have the greatest military on earth. One thing I can agree with the president on. And yet, he refuses to use America's strength to deter or protect or to lead. The world sees it, our allies feel it, and our adversaries exploit it. Tonight, the president claimed to be a bipartisan leader. Really? He's threatened more vetoes on every piece of legislation, progressive legislation, that would move this country forward than any president in our nation's history. He's mocked floor crossers that no longer align with his agenda, that he expects to uphold tooth and nail to no avail. He's punished dissent within his own party. He shut the doors to collaboration. He locked us out, literally and legislatively. Words mean nothing without action. You want bipartisanship? Prove it. Stop threatening those who disagree with you. Stop treating cooperation as a weakness. Stop governing through veto threats and press conferences. This administration has governed by neglect. Neglect of the private sector for half its term. Neglect of national security until it collapsed under its own failures under the former secretary. Neglect of the American people who expect protection, stability, and transparency. And perhaps the greatest neglect of all, the failure to recognize that America cannot be safe when lawlessness grows inside our own government. Rogue agents, corrupted officials, a cabinet that can't control itself, a vice president, a president that can't control the cabinet, a DHS secretary who's ran his department like a pack of political enforcers. So tonight, let me offer a different vision, a progressive vision, a vision that moves America forward. A vision of restoring law and order, real law and order, not slogans. A vision to make America the safest nation from foreign invaders, from rogue agents, from corruption, and from crime. A vision of a government that serves the people, not one held together by recycled politicians simply running out the clock to stay relevant. The United States cannot be strong abroad if we are weak at home. We cannot lead the world if we cannot even secure the Oval Office. And we cannot call ourselves a functioning democracy while our own government agencies go rogue in our capital. The time has come for a new direction, one defined by accountability, integrity, strength, peace through strength, and justice through transparency, unity through truth. The President says the State of the Union is strong. I say the State of the Union can be stronger. It must be stronger, and it will be stronger. If we choose to demand better, if we choose to rebuild, and if we choose to act. Thank you, and may God bless the United States.